I'm Sandy, back again in my kitchen. I don't know about you, but I love a good cookie. One that is kind of crispy on the outside and gooey in the middle is something that's my go-to cookie. If you know me, I'm not a huge chocolate fan. I know, rarity over here. However, my husband is an amazing chocolate fan. I say amazing because he will eat any type of chocolate, no matter what it is. It's his thing. But for me, I need it in little bits and pieces. But this cookie that we're gonna make today is actually all chocolate, and I'm a huge fan of it. And it's really simple to make, also healthy for you, a healthier version anyway for you. And it only uses egg whites and a whole egg and no flour whatsoever. So if you are gluten-free, you can totally do this recipe, and you can even change this if you're vegan. You could use aquafaba in here, play around with it. But again, let's have fun with this cookie. It's delicious, and you're gonna be making this as one of your favorites all the time. Let's get started. All right, so now it's time for our flourless dark chocolate cookie. Again, super amazing, my favorite. And even though I'm not a chocolate fan. Simple ingredients as per usual with me in my kitchen. Things you can find in your pantry. We're gonna be using powdered sugar. Again, no flour in this recipe at all. We're using cocoa powder. I'm using whatever chocolate I could find in my pantry. So I have white chocolate chips and semi-sweet chocolate chips. Again, I like to play around with it. So if you don't have these, just any chocolate in your pantry is okay to use. We're using 2 whole egg whites here and then 1 whole egg. We have baking powder and then salt. Literally, that's it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna combine all my ingredients, I said, into this bowl, which is pretty crazy when you're thinking about it. You don't need any fancy container, any fancy equipment at all. You can just kind of play around with this. Okay, so I have my cocoa powder and my powdered sugar. I'm gonna add in my salt and my baking powder. I just want to give this a little bit of a stir to just kind of combine it so it's a little bit incorporated in here, and you're not just adding in your wet ingredients. I am going to save my chocolate chips until the finale, so that way they don't just kind of keep getting mixed in and mixed in. Again, if you want to, you can add a little bit. You're going to get your hands dirty here too, so don't be afraid of that. Adding my egg whites directly into this mixture, and then I'm going to crack my whole egg here into my mixture. If you're not confident about cracking your egg right in, like I am, just crack it on the side of the bowl into the little bowl that you have to make sure you don't get any shells. And now we're gonna mix. So I'm gonna start with a wooden spoon here and just kind of mix that whole egg up so the yolk breaks in there. And then I'm just gonna start incorporating all of the ingredients together, and it'll start to kind of come together, but then it's gonna be a little mealy. And you're gonna see that here in a second. And that's when we're gonna put our hands in here and get them all kind of dirty. You will have to be patient with this recipe, as you will have to chill the dough twice just to make sure that they're gonna bake properly. If you skip out on those steps, you're gonna be like, oh, my cookies didn't turn out, or I'm so disappointed. You have to chill this batter twice. Again, be patient, but it is totally worth it in the end, I promise. All right. See how it's coming together? It's looking really, really good. If we need to, I'm gonna use my hands, but it's actually coming together pretty good here. Make sure all the lumps are out of the cocoa powder and of the powdered sugar in here. It's pretty crazy when you think about it that this recipe has no flour in it. So look at that batter. It looks so good. And this is why you have to refrigerate it, because it's gonna set up a little bit in the refrigerator, and that way we can scoop it into balls and be good to go. If you've ever had a brownie and a cookie, this is your thing. All right. Okay, so all the lumps are gone. Now, I'm just gonna fold in my chocolate. And this is as I have some on my shoulder here. This is 4 ounces of chocolate. If you want more, you can add more. I just wouldn't recommend going above like 6 ounces of chocolate. Then it becomes a little bit too gooey, and the point that when you bite into it is just pure chocolate, which is fine if that's what you're going for. All right, and you can play around with the flavors in this too. If you want to add a little bit of chili in here, go ahead, make it a little spicy, or cinnamon. A little Mexican hot chocolate cookie would be delicious with that cinnamon and a little chili in there. And this is it. So now, what you're going to do is you're going to refrigerate this dough. Remember, I said you have to wait. Refrigerate this dough for an hour. Okay? So we're going to refrigerate this dough for an hour, and then we'll be back. So the dough has been chilling for an hour. I just took it out of the fridge, and you can see that the consistency is completely changed. This is why it's important to refrigerate it. So that's one refrigeration step, and then we're going to scoop this in then 2. So I have my baking sheets lined with my silicone mats. You can use parchment, or you can just spray it with non-stick cooking spray as well. So essentially, I'm going to do 2 batches here. I have 2 different size scoops because I can't decide which size I want to actually make. I'm going to start with my tablespoon size, and this is 2 tablespoons, depending on what size you want to make. I'm going to start with my bigger one. So basically the dough has completely transformed. It's nice and malleable now. And you're going to scoop your dough out. You want to leave about an inch between, because these are going to spread. All right, they're going to spread a lot. So here we go. About an inch between, give or take. And then we're going to pop these back into the refrigerator for 15 minutes. Then you're going to take them directly out, pop them in the oven, preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you're going to bake them for 8 to 10 minutes. You do not want to over bake these, as they will not be good. They're just like super crunchy. They can burn very quickly. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to put another one. I'm going to take the risk here and put another one here. I'm going to go small now, so I'm going to change the size here. Or is that too small? Is that too little? Yeah. All right, I'm going to stay with my bag. I can't make my mind up today. Don't judge. So, all right, here we go. And don't eat this dough because it's so addicting. Just don't even try it. Refrigerate the rest of my dough too, because I don't want that to get all soft and gooey while these are baking. All right, we're gonna put them in the refrigerator for 15 more minutes. Again, taking them out, popping them in a 350 degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes, just until set on the sides. Do not over bake them. All right, so our cookies are done and they turned out amazing. Oh, I think I've eaten already 4, but that's okay, don't judge me. But can't wait to show you. Look at these. Look at them. How gorgeous are those? Simple ingredients turn out just like that. You would never know that there is no flour in these at all. And just the powdered sugar, the cocoa powder. Oh, that goodness in there. Don't over bake them because they will get really hard on the outside. But you kind of want about like 8 to 10 minutes, and that's it. Take them out of the oven, let them sit, let them cool completely, and then pull them off. How amazing. Come on, make these. I promise you won't regret it. Cheers.